Welcome back to another episode of the Corporate Cowboys podcast. I'm your host, Alex. Little proof of life. Today is January 1st, the first of the new year. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day, 2023. Imagine that. You've been with us going on 6 seasons now. The seventh is coming up. And if I had planned things right? If I had planned things better, and you could always be better, so to speak, I might have ended season six at the end of the year and started season seven today. But I am nothing if not professional. So I'm going to finish out season six and bring in season seven with a bang in due time. In due time. Now, this podcast, as you're aware of, is strictly cathartic. It's self-help. It's educational. As for me, as much as I hope it is for you. So, today's question is coming from r/career guidance. I'm going to treat this as a 30-minute consult. Say you came into my office and you were feeling like you need a little help navigating corporate. You see, you had to choose between the red and the blue pill, and you were like, fuck it, let me take them both. I need a job. Let me take a blue pill. Let me take this little mandate thing to go to work. Who gives a fuck where you work at? Corporate is corporate. You live in a corporate world order. The new world order. Are you serious? No, it's a corporate world order. The sooner you realize that you're playing a game, and it's a game of life and death, that's business. Business is war, and it's always personal. The sooner you realize that you are on the front line, regardless of the position you hold, the sooner you realize that everyone is in the same struggle. And no one has a side. There are no colors. There's only good business and bad business. So, if you're in the camp of bad business, expect to get knocked the fuck down. Now, if you want to create good business, be a corporate cowboy of sorts, and herd these. Hold on, what's the analogy? Not analogy. What's the metaphor I'm trying to tie in here? As a corporate cowboy, you are herding publicly traded companies who run on stock, right? But we're the cowboys. We run shit, essentially. But this person is asking here on r/career guidance. They took it to Reddit. And they're asking, what now? What now, Alex? What do I do? They're not asking me directly, but they're throwing it out there. And fuck it, I'm going to give an opinion. These are free. If you would like something personalized, if you think your circumstances, your position in corporate warrants a second look, a second opinion, maybe some professional recommendations, reach out to us. We're on Instagram. That's at Corporate Cowboys with a Z. The Patreon is available, and there are some tiers with a question and answer feature if you would like immediate answers. You could also write to us something a little bit more official. Takes some time. By all means, our rates are more than reasonable. You can reach us at P.O. Box 3372, Rancho Cordova, California 95741. Send letters, send contraband, or don't, right? I don't advocate for any of that. This isn't legal advice. This isn't legal. It might be professional, not legal advice. Don't hold me to it. So, this person claims nothing is working. You see, the title was "What now?" question mark. So, little to no context, even in the title. The body says nothing is working. Networking isn't working. No one bothers to respond to me on LinkedIn. Dog, nobody's gonna respond to you on LinkedIn. Hardly anybody. I mean, we're talking a numbers game. If you think getting a phone number from the opposite sex is a numbers game, networking on LinkedIn, a numbers game. That's an even crazier numbers game because LinkedIn should be nothing more than like a business card, an expanded business card, because you have options to upload certificates, to upload scholarly works, to upload past projects and portfolios so that others can put their eyes on and evaluate you as a professional for the work that you've done, right? It's just an expanded business card. You're lucky to have even that. The fact that you can then message and try to reach out, I don't know what type of pitch you have to really convert people on LinkedIn, but man, your hustle game has got to be sick. Absolutely fucking sick because if I'm receiving messages on LinkedIn, half of them I'm leaving on red, and the other half it's because I've started them with people who I might not have gotten their phone number from, but I've networked with in the past. So it's not like a cold approach, right? I've met them in person and then connected with them on LinkedIn, right? I'm not just shooting random invites, random connections to people I've never met. It's a good way to investigate people who are might be in a certain industry, in a target industry, one that you might be trying to breach and break into. But actually contacting these people, maybe not. It's good to identify people, but to actually contact and initiate uh, a relationship with them, start a relationship with them, nah. I'm gonna say no, no. You've got you've got better chances of going to whatever city it says that they operate in and literally walking the streets trying to find them than messaging them on LinkedIn. I mean, if they are that sought after, messaging them on LinkedIn, it's going to get you few, if any, responses back. I mean, you've got to set yourself apart. You've got to come with the juice, come with the credentials, so to speak. So they say nothing is working, networking isn't working. That's odd. And they say no one bothers to respond to me on LinkedIn. If that's all they consider networking, you know, it's sad. It's sad what today's day and age has promulgated. And I should know because the year that we were all locked down, everything from education to work was all digital, all online, all remote. Networking is increasingly difficult. It goes up in difficulty exponentially. Why? Because you don't have people face to face. I want to say that the isolative nature of it all really pushes some folks to isolate themselves, to really withdraw from social contact, from social interaction. Additionally, reaching out to folks online, digitally, provides that added distance between one another, where they can more easily ignore you, just outright ghost you without having to respond. Just like you've got keyboard warriors who will talk massive amounts of shit, write dumb ass checks that their ass cannot cash until you catch them in person, and then you gotta ring them out. Just like you got keyboard warriors who hide behind keyboards, you've got individuals who, for whatever reason, one would think that social anxiety uh, diminishes if you're not standing face to face because you don't have to think critically in real time. You could take your time to respond to an email, to a text message, to a LinkedIn message. You can take your time to formulate a response. But for whatever reason, what I experienced in that time was networking was difficult. You had to really hone your messages, really target certain individuals, really identify socialites. You had I mean that's a difficult concept where you have to really identify socialites who will provide a connection, who will provide an increase in network capacity, not just people who appear to be socialites on social media, right? And for that, LinkedIn, I mean, this is why we saw an increase in LinkedIn users and an increase in the use of LinkedIn features because of that expansion pack to the business card, like I'm telling you about. But networking isn't all LinkedIn. It's not. It's not. This person writes, continues, I submitted resumes to more companies than I can count. I never make it past first round interviews. I'm starting to think that I'm having it harder than most people, despite being in a good school with a decent GPA for no reason at all. Okay, well, it's important that we realize here that going to a good school, having a decent GPA opens doors. But it doesn't like it you're not on a fucking conveyor belt being slid into a fucking job unless you've got some type of like not a wild connection, but unless you've pulled enough strings and actioned enough levers at school to necessarily place yourself into a job, right? Like if you've really ran up your connections with, I don't know, if there's an office for career or professional development, some of those offices might be apt, might have the capability to place you, right? And when I mean place, I mean necessarily tap an executive on the shoulder and place you in that position. But that's rare. That's like asking someone a professional favor, right? That's like going favor for a favor. You've really got to know some folks on a personal level and be indispensable, be an asset to them in their life and in their career. I mean, they aren't going to go out of their way to just place anybody with a just a decent GPA. You've really got to set yourself apart. They say that they've submitted resumes to more companies that than they can count. That's a lot of fucking resumes. I'll be honest. I have been in positions before. I've been I have submitted numerous resumes in the past to to places where I didn't even count. I really didn't even count. I was just spraying and praying, right? This is when I was younger, when I was a novice, and this person is still in school. So I'm I'm assuming that they're younger, right? You know what they say about assumptions, but this person really is giving us no context, right? They don't give us their age, they don't give us their sex, their location, they don't give us what school, what major, what GPA, what previous work experience, if any. Again, these are all questions that I would ask, that our agents would ask when handling, when interviewing clients, right? When we're onboarding clients and really trying to get to the heart of what their objectives are, what purpose they want, or what purpose they seek. These are all baseline questions. We ought to know. We need to know in order to identify opportunities to network more effectively, to communicate better. to apply to targeted companies, really targets companies to apply to, right? It's all strategic. It's all planification until you put that bitch into execution. It's all planification. Like if you go into this with no plan, right? If you go into this with no plan, just fucking winging everything, you've got to be a hustler. You've got to be a finesser, right? That takes time and that takes skill. There, there are certain tasks, there are certain, I want to call them projects, certain initiatives that I've taken on in the past and never shared plans with anybody. So much so that I never put plans down on paper, right? These are personal plans to develop myself personally in my personal life and professionally in my career. Now, if I don't share these plans and I don't write them down, I got these plans running in my head on autopilot, on automatic, 24/7. And how I go through life operating is toward the achievement of those plans. So I'm hustling. I'm finessing every action, every word, every fucking handshake is going towards attaining my goals. So, this person, I mean, I would ask, oh, well, have you only been using LinkedIn? Are you not taking advantage of any opportunities offered by your, what's this? What is this? By your good school, right? The good school doesn't have any fairs, doesn't have any symposiums, doesn't have any panels of speakers that show up for you to bump into and shake hands with. Again, this could be a disconnect between what this person writes and what this person actually does. We just want to clarify. That's all. The added context never hurts. Additional context never hurts. And what's the other adage? All good press. Wait, what is it? Bad press is good press, or all press. All bad press is good press. Some shit like that. But you want to, but you want to find, you want to seek those opportunities and actually bump into these people face to face, so they can evaluate you in real time. That is going to take some confidence on your part. That is going to take some personal development on your part to come off as professional, to give off that professional image that you're competent, that you're diligent, and that you're hireable, that they want to bring you on board. If what you want to do is work for them, now you want to work with them, that's something completely different. You have that entrepreneurial mindset, you want to venture out on your own, capitalize on your personal and professional assets. I mean, shit, for that you need experts of some kind. And corporate cowboys can help you. So this person thinks that they're having a harder time than everyone else. Oh, how fucking special. They're having it harder than everyone else. Oh no. They continue. I can't believe I'm studying 4 years in college just to end up not being able to get a job. And they finish here in parentheses, they write, I'm a junior in college looking for internships. What the fuck? Looking for internships? I'm over here thinking you sniping for careers, dog. Okay, well, internships is another ball game. You're playing fucking wiffle ball now. Yeah, I get you can pitch wiffle balls as hard as you can and they curve. Who gives a fuck? It's wiffle ball. I'm over here thinking you're gunning for the major leagues and shit. All right, When you're looking for internships, internships, I want to say, are easier to obtain than just a job. Motherfuckers would be glad to take you on so you can work for free. Granted, you're learning on the job, but you could. I mean, if you have little to no experience, you're going to be more successful working for free, right? Just gaining the job experience. But like I mentioned beforehand, depending on your prior experience, depending on your knowledge, on your capacity for acting, on your intelligence, being a fucking hustler, a finesser, if they can see it's in you, you can negotiate a paid internship. But again, it ain't gonna be like, oh, you're a first year associate, fresh out of college, and you expect to cap out on your salary on your way in entry level. No, don't expect any of that. Don't expect any of that. You've got to humble yourself, right? Unless you know you've got the fucking balls, unless you know you've got the juice like that, right? You got the juice like if all you got is pocket lint. Hold on. Don't don't say something out of pocket. Alex, don't say something out of pocket. It's the new year. Be nice. Be professional. But well, okay, so don't overuse but either, right? I've gotta catch myself, recapacitate a little bit, take a breath, and say, if you are seeking an internship, reaching out to these companies on LinkedIn is not the way to go about things. It's not. At least only on LinkedIn. And based on the context, on what little context this person has provided in the body, I want to say that they may not be too comfortable networking in person. You have to be. You have to be comfortable networking in person. You have to be able to shake somebody's hand, look them in the eye, and tell them that you're fucking hungry. You have to. You have to. Otherwise, on LinkedIn, everybody is sitting behind a screen, behind a keyboard. You have a fucking computer. You're in the first world. So you have first world problems. You know what solves first world problems? Always. Sometimes it's not even first world solutions, but most always it's third world solutions. Something physical, actually putting your hands on, actually getting dirty, doing a little of the work, getting up close and personal. It doesn't mean that harassing or accosting executives is the only way to get this internship, but you will have to do the legwork. LinkedIn is a blessing. It's a miracle, like I said, that we have it, but it's only the expansion to your business card. It's like an expanded business card. That's all it is. That's all it is. Don't expect, it's like having a stack of business cards. And if you just walk around pitching business cards at people, don't expect them to pick it up and be like, oh, I might give this person a call with no frame of reference for who the fuck you are or what you've done or how you could help them, how you could benefit mutually from one another. Nobody gives a fuck. When I first started at LinkedIn, I shot connections at everybody just in my general area, right? In the state, because I was starting small. I was a small fish. I was a guppy in a kiddie pool. Now I'm a fucking shark, and the kiddie pool feels small, right? So you can move from out of the state, investigate, find individuals who are in a position that you might be interested in, reach out to them personally based on their previous experiences, based on what their backgrounds look like. but you're fresh out of college. You're looking for internships. What else can you do? I mean, have you taken a look? Hold on. Well, they wrote their fucking resume. Have you had your resume critiqued? Have you had your resume really evaluated for effectiveness, for presentation, for readability, for comprehension? Are you finding that you're using a an older resume, one that you had maybe when you first applied to college? I don't know if you needed a resume to apply to college. I haven't been in a minute. But the resume, if that's what you're sending, if that's the first thing people see about you when you're applying, man, that shit's got to be looking clean. That shit's got to shine. You need to stand out from other applicants. So this may differ from company to company. It's as if the resume has become the cover letter. In the past, I mean, the resume has always been an accompaniment to the cover letter, right? You send them in together. But less and less, especially with entry level positions, not so much for executive positions. I mean, in executive positions, the cover letter still is a very valuable piece of I guess criteria that's taken into consideration when folks are moving around, transferring, hiring and firing type thing. But if it's entry level, I mean, a cover letter can inform a manager of what your expectations are, of what your goals and aspirations with the company are. And the resume is going to be what backs you up, you as a person, regardless of what your cover letter says. Your cover letter is future facing. Your resume focuses on your past. So you want to make sure, yeah, I mean, even if you've burned bridges in the past, right? You've got to frame your resume to put you in the best light, to put you in the type of light that makes you attractive as an intern, as an entry level associate, as an executive. You've got to be in the best light. So when folks pick up your resume, they can already see you working for them. They could already envision giving you a recommendation letter at the end of your internship. Yes, this person has worked with us. They helped the company. They improved the company. They were an asset to the company. And I can attest that through their experience interning for us, we have made them better. We have improved their position in life. We've helped them develop professionally. Let's take a look. I mean, enough of the rant, man. Let's take a look at some of these comments here. The first comment, I'm already at 20, 25, 28 minutes. I'll read a couple of comments. The first comment here says, "Hi, OP. They're hiring manager, director, VP, vice president for 30 years, they say. DM me your resume and I'll critique it for free." Hey, hey. See, that's a service that is typically paid. And this hiring manager, this commenter, is generous enough to do something similar to what I'm doing. You want your resume critiqued? Send it to this cat. This cat will do it for free, they claim. Whether or not there is a catch, it doesn't hurt. You get your resume in front of one more hiring manager. Fuck it. Shoot it to them. Obviously, take what they say with a grain of salt, especially if it's not in an industry that you're seeking to break into, especially if the market, hold on. Yeah, especially if the industries differ and how the labor market interacts with that industry is different from the labor market that you're in and the industry that you want to get into. I think those are two key components to considering whether or not to take this individual's advice. And they also actually have advice on a book. They say also get a copy of Charisma, The Art of Relationships by Grinder. Likability can be learned, they say. Likability can be learned. Yeah, I made those comments in the beginning where if all professional networking is being done on LinkedIn. If this person is doing all of their quote unquote professional networking on LinkedIn, I mean, it's sad to say, but they're likely not to be very successful. They likely won't be very successful if that's all they're doing. They've got to be meeting folks in person as much as possible, still shaking hands. That goes such a long way, right? And if digital communication is all you do have, then learning to converse with other professionals to get points across, to pitch initiatives, ventures, proposals, that sort of thing, that's a learned skill. To some folks, it comes naturally, others pick it up rather easily, but it can be learned. It can be taught, it can be learned. You need help with that? I mean, I want to say we could help. This person is already recommending a book. The second comment says, second comment is asking, but how are your people skills? Hey. Oh, and OP comments. It says, I try to talk with people on LinkedIn, but it went nowhere. Okay, well, I'm pretty much going to cut the episode there because we've answered, I think, a very a critical question. If all their professional networking is being done on LinkedIn, they are fumbling the fucking bag. They're fucking up the game. LinkedIn is not a professional networking space. It's become necessarily Facebook 2.0, Facebook for suits and ties. People are starting to post more and more personal and dumb, retarded shit on there. More and more. You see it every day. There's another, I think it's a subreddit called r/LinkedIn lunatics. That shit's a laugh. Go check it out on how not to use LinkedIn. All kinds of MLM and too much information ass posts on there. You'll see. If you would like a laugh, if you want a break, go peep it. Check it out. Check it out. But if your people skills are being hamstrung on your own because of your own decision to network only digitally, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. What other recommendation can I, as a corporate cowboy, have other than to get up from behind your fucking computer or your phone, get out there and do some work? You have to put the work in, the legwork, the legwork. It's much, much harder to discount your efforts in real life than it is online. You send me a message on LinkedIn, shit, I might not respond. You approach me in real life, and I've got no option but to address you. It might still be rejection, but you've got me in real time considering you as a person, you as a professional. And that's a better chance than not one at all. Have yourselves a great week. I'll catch you on the next one.